Hey, 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 it's Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature. How you doing? It's Super Soul Sunday. And I am here. I think we're on day 7. And I know it's day 7. Happy birthday to Claire, to Corleen, to all of you that are celebrating 365 days around the sun again. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you here. Hi, Christina. Tag a fellow appreciator. Invite your friends to come on in here. Let's get this Super Soul Sunday going. And also, can we just maybe appreciate that maybe you're not appreciating Sunday or what you're doing or where the day went? Because I must, in all honesty, like all things, if you've ever done a juice fast or you've committed to do a weight program, or you're going to go to the gym and you kind of start and there's all this enthusiasm and all this excitement in the beginning. Hi, Ricky. And then, a couple of days in, you start to feel a little annoyance creeping in or a little resentment creeping in. And I must, in appreciation of you all joining me here, as the sun goes down. I think we should call these Sundowner Sarah days, Sarah Jane Sundowner conversations. But I noticed as 4:30 was coming by, and Sundays are really my day where I really get to set my targets and my intentions and what I want to create for the day and for the coming week, and really just set some intention and put it down on paper so that I get it done. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate you being here, because already just seeing you guys come on in to our virtual Sundowner space, I can feel my energy coming out. And because as 4:30 was sort of coming around, I really noticed that I was a little bit annoyed with myself, of course, but that there was this thing that my mind started telling me that I was breaking my alone time, that I was coming out of what we're talking about today, which is really this appreciation of the power of daydreaming, where we can literally come back into our body and feel deep down in what it is that we want to create, and not lose our mind, because it's so easy to get distracted in all the digital stuff and what other people want and all the identity snatching. It's happening everywhere. So you kind of get this idea, and then you wonder even if it's your idea, because there's so much stuff coming at you that you kind of don't know where you start and where everything else begins. And I love that. I think it was in The Little Prince that it went something like, you know that you have come home to your heart, and don't shoot the messenger, because I'm probably messing this up, but my takeaway is really that when you don't have anything left to add, when there's nothing left to add to your life, that's when you really start to come in to that you are whole and complete and perfect exactly as you are. There's nothing to take away and there's nothing to add in. You just are in the presence and in the moment. And anyway, so I was feeling this irritation and this agitation coming up, because I was like, oh crap, it's nearly 4:30 and I need to break what I'm doing, come out of my imaginal space of seeing how I wanted to create my week and what I needed to get done. And also that there was some, what always happens to me, and maybe you can relate to this, is I'm going away on Thursday, and it was a choice. It wasn't like anybody forced me to do it, but I made a decision to go away. A client of mine called me and she said, please, would I come and actually give her some laser focus and some attention and just settling things. She's just moved to a different place, and would I come and help? And I immediately said yes, because I love where she lives. It's near the ocean, and it gives me a chance to fill up my soul. But I do this every single time when I'm asking for something to come in and I know it's going to fill me up. My mind will go into this place of connecting to all the reasons and justifications why I can't go. My ego wants to be important, and it's just like, well, I saw myself going into this agitation, which is probably why I was getting annoyed about having to, come through and keep my commitment to you with our 28-day challenge in active appreciation. So I was actively appreciating that I was annoyed. And then I allowed myself to go deeper into that, to look at what was I justifying. Because here's the thing, any time that you are finding yourself having to justify what you're choosing, you're not in your heart. Okay, that's the addiction, where we think we have to get permission from something outside of ourselves. And maybe that's your alone time, maybe that's going away, maybe that's just saying no. And we're going to talk about boundaries later on. Hi Hanka, nice to see you here. But yeah, so any time when you are justifying that you cannot choose something for you, and you're waiting for permission from something else, and you feel that kind of annoyance like I did earlier coming up, you are not in alignment with your heart. So, you know, we're so addicted, aren't we, even to permission. I mean, there's just so many things we're addicted to. In fact, everything that's out of alignment, congruence with our heart is an addiction. So, you know, if you want to do something and you find yourself saying, well, I should do this, or I need to do that, and deep down, what you're actually saying to yourself is that you can't actually appreciate the experience of what you're imagining, that time away, or that time to go and write or meditate, from this place of not being able to value that you are worth doing it. So I don't know, it's just like deep down you don't believe that you're worthy of taking that time to daydream, to get lost in your own mind instead of going into the distraction, because we feel so uncomfortable giving that to ourselves that we have to go and get into other people's business. And every time you're doing that, you're taking away that imaginal time where you actually get to create your life, right? Because if you're in other people's business, you cannot create your own life. So, you know, you have to be willing to say yes to what you want. And if it is in alignment with your higher calling, it is your imagination. And you have to be able to give yourself time alone to connect with your heart. Okay, this is the biggest distraction now. When your mind is not connected to love, you're in trauma. And you're in fear, and you're always looking from that little part inside of you, and maybe that is your pre-7-year-old that's saying, get me out of here, this feels dangerous. And I could feel that coming up with me, and I feel it every time I go away for longer than a day or two, that there's this thing that comes up around control that feels frightening, it feels scary. Yes, you're creating your own life. Absolutely, Heather. And remember, today's Ask Me Anything. Please tag, share this, give me some love, give me some hearts. Let's get this appreciation challenge really moving along, because the more of us that are here, the quicker that we're going to get into a planet that is all love, and then the fear and the hate and the addiction and the trauma can't exist there. So, you know, allow yourself to be in process. I feel like I'm rambling today, but I think the topic for today's appreciation was to give yourself the power of imagination, of allowing yourself to daydream. Stop losing your mind in other things and being mindless and not being focused in your intention of what it is that you're creating. Yesterday we talked about getting in touch with your body, allowing yourself to follow your impulses. And if that means burping in public because your mother said that was rude, allowing yourself to burp or fart, and just make sure there's a dog around so that you can blame the dog, or just, oh, you know what, it's so natural. And yet we're all taught that there's shame in following our own impulses. So I love what Michael Harris says, that result is less space. And I'm probably going to screw this one up again too, but I love his work. And he said something about result is less the space for sustained daydreaming, for a mind in the machine zone, right? So all of that crap that goes on. Hi, Alison. Nice to see you. You know, it's that untethered soul that we're all wanting. We're saying we have to do something in order to get permission to be free to create, to daydream, to vision on our own, and yet we're so locked up. We're so ruthlessly tethered, and you know, it's such a powerful thing, and that's what I give myself, you know, without compromise on a Sunday, is quiet time outside of my meditation time, which is just the way that I start my day, outside of my morning pages. more time. Sundays is the day to untether my soul, to actually look at where is my energy calling me, what is required, what is it that I need, what does my business need, what do I want to create for the week, and letting my mind wander there instead of wandering aimlessly around expecting everything to just fall into place. So you know, I think that's the beautiful thing about allowing yourself to daydream. It's about being awake. Oh my word. That is so funny, Rika. So now you know, give yourself permission to follow your impulses. You know, we're so programmed into what is appropriate and what is not, and that is trauma in itself. It drives me insane when I hear my daughter, every day I pick her up, it's the same story. She's like, oh my God, I have to go to the toilet, because she doesn't want to use the toilets at school, or they're not allowed to go to the toilet in school. So they can't hydrate to keep their minds nice and bright and fresh and willing to learn. And so they're feeling tired because their bodies are actually dehydrated, and that's one of the first things that we do in all my challenges. The 7-day belief challenge was just giving yourself permission to drink water. You know, your body needs water. We're 80% water and, I don't know, 90% space. So how do you expect your body to be the one that allows you to daydream and create your life if it's in fight-flight mode of, oh my God, there's a drought, okay? I need to preserve water, so we get the headaches and the migraines and the body pains. And just allow yourself to follow your impulses. And I wonder what it would take. What would it take for them to change that? Hi, Violet. In the schooling systems, to allow children to drink water freely and go and pee when their bodies tell them to pee, instead of them not being able to concentrate and focus because their bladders are full and they're scared they're going to wet their pants. Okay, so all of this, and we talked about this yesterday too, about so much shame when we're children, that we're not allowed to touch ourselves, and we're not allowed to get pleasure from our bodies. And remember, my daughter loves there, and she loves to just lie there and tickle her side, because there's an innate pleasure that her body gets from feeling herself tickle herself like that. So following your impulses is great. And you know, it's just like, humor heals everything. Laughter is so brilliant. And these days I don't even look for a dog. You know, if a fart manages to slip out in the middle of my gym training session, I just laugh about it and tell everybody to move away in case it's not the most particularly pleasant perfume that's odoring the air. So yeah. So tell me what's coming up. I peed, yeah. And ask me anything. Today I really wanted to open it up to asking anything and allowing yourself to daydream. So the appreciation of daydreaming. Hi Kelly, good to see you. I want to keep it light and fun today, so I'm willing to go wherever you want to go. Let me know if you have any questions. It is a load of bullshit, Ricky. Wow, you guys, keep it coming. Give me some love. Send me some hearts. Share this. So just remember, you know, it's just like what we're looking for here is when you give yourself permission to go into daydreaming, you allow yourself to process. So if your body's feeling danger, like that sort of agitation that's coming up for me because I know I'm going to be away from home for 10 days and there's certain things that are going to be out of my control, that you can only choose to go from a place of allowing yourself the flexibility that I might not show up at 4:30 every day when I'm away, but that is the intention, right? In the daydream of, I can see this moving out and I can see us meeting here every day and honoring my client commitments and getting my work done and being present with my client there, so that I can come out of this thing that oh my God, get me out of here, this is dangerous. So I won't even allow myself the pleasure of a different experience because that little kid in me is saying, oh my God, I'm afraid. So all week, this is really what we've been building on, is to identify that it's just a story. Okay, you are not the traumatic experience of, oh my gosh, you know, maybe the last time you went away everything went horribly wrong, or the plane never took off, or you lost your luggage, or there was no internet. And so you would rather not experience a different experience of that based on the stories. So just know, you know, you've got to let yourself process it. And this is what I did earlier when I felt this annoyance and this irritation coming up. And then I was going into justifying all the reasons why I couldn't go, or all the reasons why I need to show up, because we have a 28-day active appreciation challenge going, and allow myself to just love showing up here and not be responsible or justify what comes out of my mouth. Do I ramble? Probably, because I'm following the energy. And then you have to get past caring, right? I care so much that I don't care anymore, so that you get to experience what you want. Does that make sense? Give me some hearts, give me some love. Tell me what is calling you into your imagination for this week. And let's witness that. So type in the comments below. Thank you. There you go. You guys are still alive. Yay. Thank you. Ugh, your typos. Yeah. So just remember, you know, it's your little child that wants to run from the feeling, and your mind is wired to get you away from the attack, right? Your mind is wired to avoid anything that is unknown. So we all walk around trying not to be afraid, trying to think we have control, and this trying is one of those things that really irritate me. So you need to be able to sit with your child parts and listen to them in that space of daydreaming, to say, well, what if this could be fun, and what if, and listening to the part that feels afraid. Because when you allow yourself to love, then you fill yourself up, and not do this sort of distraction thing that we were talking, that takes you out of the daydream, takes you out of the envisioning of how you want to see your week or your day, where you get lost in other people's stuff, where you literally lose your mind. You need to be able to connect to self, right? The self-love, not the shallow love that you get because somebody likes your post, or because you're not willing to sit with that uncomfortable feeling. So you'll go onto Facebook, or you'll go and Google, and you'll go and talk to somebody in the hopes that they're going to give you the answer, right? There is no bypassing, right? Unless you go into spiritual divorce, which is where most of us get lost and feel like we're not enough. So allow yourself to sit and look at that place of, what am I feeling, right down, deep down inside, so that you can have a greater understanding and compassion and empathy, and access that thing, right? That is the feeling that's coming up. You're not the trauma. You have to be willing to sit with that scared part of you, and look at what's available to you if you are not fixing trauma, right? Trying to get it right, trying to avoid the threat, when it's all in your mind. So how much better could you feel when you feel the thing that you've been through, and then choose to know that you can handle anything if you're aligned from your heart? When you're in trauma, when you make the trauma bigger than you, then you believe that thing is bigger than your heart. And that's where we want to access the heart. We want to go deep down in appreciating whatever comes up, whatever arises, and love it, so that it can dissolve and dissipate and transmute, and you can integrate that part of you back into the wise woman that knows, like she knows, that you are bigger than anything. You're bigger than your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, all of it. And it's a habit. Okay, so you got to know that this is the habit. These are the blind spots. These are the pathways that are so familiar to you that you don't even know half the time that you're pushing against it. You've got to love it. You've got to love it and let it stay, right? Follow the impulses of the fart or the burp, and let it come in, and tread lightly, because you're not used to being in that space of possibility and choice. Okay, you are allowed. You have to give yourself permission to know that pain is a choice. Emotional pain is of your own creation, and it's in the identification to your story. So stop trying to lose your mind, and look at where could you just be? Where could you just be in the daydream? Allow yourself that moment of just dreaming your life into reality, and stop thinking that you have to get more productive and no play, which just makes us all dull. And at the end of the day, know that you have the ability to think deeply into imagining the greatness of you. That's the art of deliberate daydreaming. That is where creation happens. And you can't do it if you're in here. You have to drop down into your creative aspect, into your pelvis, into your reproductive system, up your divine line. You have to root it and ground it first and find grace. Find grace, because this is a really delicate ride, isn't it? Yeah, we were often made wrong for daydreaming. I so relate to that one. You know, it's just like gazing out the window, wanting to be out there rather than stuck in a classroom where you're told you're not allowed to move and you have to sit still and you have to concentrate. And I see this a lot, Ricky, with my sensitive clients, right? That were once my big children, that were once little children, that are so trapped in the fibromyalgia and the body pains and the migraines and all the psycho-spiritual divorcing of where they're going against their true nature, because they're still living from that part of the child that is afraid and wants to get the hell away because it doesn't feel good. You know, the best way to learn, my daughter's like that. I've never asked her to sit still. I could see the type of child that she was. The more that's going on, and this happens with a lot of high functioning children that are sort of on the spectrum of functional autism. Hello, Splishy. There's my cat going up the tree. The more that you give them the big story, so if you tell them the whole day, this is what daydreaming does. Show them what the whole day is going to look like. And when there is a task that they do need to complete, let them put the radio on and the television, or radio, that's so funny these days, you know, everything's on their computers, but when the TV's on and the cats are playing and there's a million things going wrong, they get it done because they know that they're in the infinite space and they're no longer trying to contain themselves within this controlled environment to justify the means to an end. Does that make sense? And I feel like I've been talking for ages, but how's this resonating with you for Sunday? Is this fun? I apologize if I'm jumping all over the place. Let's do daydreaming. Yeah, so it's active participation in the fact that you get to dream your day into reality. And isn't that such a beautiful thing? You know, it's just like we forget that we have the choice, right? We have the choice, and it's a process to let yourself feel. Just let it come out of you. And then move, right? Follow the impulse. Don't go into the mind to justify all the reasons why you cannot have what you want in the dreaming, right? Eyes wide open. Being aware of what is required, what does have to get done, can still be a beautiful experience when you let go of all the ways that we're controlling rather than appreciating the power of the daydream. You are the authority of your life. If you don't write in your own book, somebody else will. So let yourself feel, just let it come out. And in that moment, just know that you are not your stories about why you cannot do something or why you can do something, right? Put the I back in impossible. You are possible just by your existence. You're possible. You are enough just by you being here. And you need to just keep stretching the outside edges of your heart a little bit further and a little bit further. You know, forget confidence. It's totally overrated. It's courage that matters. And you're all brave because you're showing up here. Hi, Louise. I have to put my glasses on. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, it went too fast. Let me just see here. Oh, it's my pleasure. I think we all were, Louise. I think we were all discouraged not to daydream, as if it was... What is that? Yeah, you know, that's something that we could go and have a whole conversation about. And again, I think it comes back to cutting us down, right? Shutting down the light so that we're more easily controlled by other people. If I'm dreaming about a life that's bigger than the one that I have, then the people that are in that life don't get to control me anymore. Or and this often shows up with money as well. You know, and this is what happens with the money piece, is that the energy of that is that you don't want the money, you want the resource that money will give you to live into the greatness of what you came here to do. And yet so many people are not willing to have money because they're afraid people will leave or people will take it from them. And it's the same as our dreams. I think if there's one thing that I really want you to get today, it's that nobody gets to take your dreams away. Okay? So go back into that little one that still feels like she doesn't have the choice to dream bigger and dream into her life. Go back and tell her that she's okay, that she has permission, and that you are celebrating and supporting her in that. Okay? I'm so glad you're dreaming more. Daydream. Yeah. I was just thinking, awesome. You access it the minute you give yourself permission, Heather. You know, it's the waking dream. It's the one that we get to create every day when the sun comes up, and the one that we get to rewrite every day when we say goodbye to the sun. Yeah, pussy. I love it, Louise. You know, that is the root of our creative, generative energy. And if we're disconnecting from the waist down, it's really hard to get in touch with what we're here to do, and also to ground it, to root it into the earth, and celebrate from that part of we are all part of the earth and part of that nurturing, loving, caring space. And we have to start with ourselves. So I feel like this is all coming out in a million knots. But are you enjoying this conversation? Thank you for joining me on a Sunday. Tell me what you need. Last chance to ask me anything. And I'm going to wrap this up. But, you know, just remember, it's a delicate ride being human. And the one thing that ties us with, like, the beautiful threads that are creating this wonderful carpet is to go on the magic carpet ride. We need the thing we are all starved of, that touch-starved part where we're wanting to heal the separation in the heart, which is why this is all about tapping into your own love warrior and connecting with other love warriors to honor and see and be witness to the love that we see in others is what we want for ourselves. It comes both ways, and you have to tread gently on yourself, right? We all want connection. We all want to be seen and be heard and be understood, and you have to allow yourself to love the parts of you that you don't understand, or the parts of you that you haven't been listening to or tuning into or getting in touch with, that we talked about yesterday. And allow yourself to appreciate that you are brave beyond belief. You have always been brave, and you are the bridge between the heaven and the earth. You are the dark, and you are the shadow and the light. Right? You are a lighthouse. So find some grace in loving the imperfect parts of you that you haven't been paying attention to, and allow yourself to dream those in the waking moments of the day, in the daydream, to come back home to you. And allow yourself to be alone with your thoughts for more than 4 minutes, okay, before you need to go and get some instant gratification or some shallow love that never lasts, it never stays with you. It's just a temporary relief, where you think you have to go outside in order to see what other people are dreaming, in order to see, am I allowed that? Is it okay for me to have that? Who do I need to ask permission to? Instead of just going deep and appreciate that you get the power to choose, right? The power of choice is yours and yours alone. And just, I encourage you and invite you, wherever you are, whether you're saying goodbye to the sun like we are here, or if you're saying hello to the day and you're ready, just give yourself time and carve that time out for you, right? That's one of the boundaries, one of the stakes that I honor for myself, is to appreciate that I am in the daydream. I am the one that dreams the day, whether I'm awake or asleep. The daydreaming is the way that we get to envision. And just pay attention. Sit in it. Go deep and feel the tension in your body. Give it a voice. Listen to it. Get in touch. Because when you do that, your life will connect you to your heart. All right? So that's my Sunday soul medicine on the 28-day love appreciation challenge, and this is called active appreciation because it's all very well to sit here and listen to me. Now you need to go do it. So get off here. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate you so much. I love and adore all of you, and it's just been great to get to know you more and deepen into this active appreciation of tribe. And I don't know when, but I'm going to probably talk about tribe. Actually, I've got a surprise for you tomorrow. Corleen, if you're listening to this, some of you know Corleen. It's her birthday today, and she's going to pop over tomorrow. So tomorrow, 4:30, you're going to have me and Corleen, a Taurian and a Gemini. She's an amazing woman that's really tapped into her creative powers. She's a phenomenal artist. She's going to be here tomorrow. So we're going to be talking about appreciation of tribe, of soul sisters, of love warriors that are all holding the vision and the mission and the purpose and aligning our hearts with the collective, the feminine rising. So rise, sister, rise. I hope you join Corleen and I tomorrow. I'll see you same time, same place. And post your comments and questions if you know anybody that wants to join this 28-day appreciation challenge. This is my give back. This is my gratitude back. Every year I celebrate my birth, my rebirthing, by giving you the love and appreciation for being part of my life. And it's free for anybody to join. So share this, post it in your groups, let people know what you're doing so that we can really light up the world with your lighthouse. Let's just be that beacon of love and hope for a world that we all want to see thrive, right? To live into our life and make a difference. So share it, comment below, post your comments and questions. Let me know what's going on and what you're going to dream into reality going forward for this week so that we can be the silent witness and the cheerleader to make sure that you get that done. All right, guys, lots of love. Bye. Mwah.